I got some goods, Tamika.
There you go, Tamika. How are you?
I'm amazing. So I got in contact with about 5 buyers in the past
Mm.
who I've had pre-qualified that had issues with credit.
Mm.
So I got them all on a credit repair Zoom.
Love it.
All 5 of them. So and they all thanked me after. So that made me feel good.
It's awesome. Love that. All right, who's next? Did I lose you guys? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me go back. Share. Hold on. I stop. There we go. Guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
There we go.
Yes,
All right.
we can hear you.
Okay, good. My screen share got messed up and I thought maybe I lost all of you guys. If you're still seeing the whiteboard, hang in there with me. I'm going to get that off the screen and we're going to start over. So talk to me. Tell me something good.
Hey, John, it's David.
Yes, talk to me, David.
Hey, John, I just want to let you know and thank you as well for all the scripts and everything you've been doing. And I've been practicing a lot what you've been saying. I set a listing appointment yesterday and a buyer consultation virtually. I'm meeting with the seller in person this afternoon for sale by owner. And I just want to thank you for everything because I've been definitely seeing results with what you've been teaching.
Cool. Love that. All right, guys, who's next?
Hey, John, good morning.
Good morning.
I've started to, so I'm new to all this. I've gotten some of my contacts, about 150 from another business, into Command and sent them all a
Okay.
group email using Designs in Command.
Okay. Love that. Who's next, guys?
This is Phil here, Vero Beach. Closed on my listing yesterday, double-sided the deal.
Love it.
Money in the bank.
Love that. Good job. Who's next, guys? There we go. Thank goodness. That was awful. All right, let's get started. I apologize for technical difficulties. Holy cow. All right, I want to share some notes with you from a study that I did this morning. I'm going to start out by saying when you hear Gary Keller share head down, heart up, he's telling you to work hard and to love on your people. I think it's super important for all of us to do that right now. And also, from page 37 of Shift, cutting expenses doesn't mean cutting quality and delivering less. If I have a team or an organization, organizationally, the people are either going to have to double down on what they do, or they are going to have to take on more. 4 questions every business person should be asking themselves right now. What are my business priorities? When do they need to get done? Who's the best person to do them? And how should they be done? So one more time, what are my business priorities right now? When do they need to get done? Who's the best person to do them? And how should they be done? All right. I am going to get back into my screen share using my iPad because I want to get to my whiteboard. So give me just a second while I pull that up, and hopefully I get it right this time. Apologize for, let's see. Okay. Yes. Cool. Cool. All right. So grateful for this. Oh my goodness. All right. So the 80-20 rule says that 20% of what we do leads to 80% of our results. And we know that if we looked at the 5 things that make up our 20%, it starts with lead generation. The second thing is appointments. Give me just a moment, guys. I need to mute the background noise. I'm going to mute myself for. This is recorded, believe it or not. So you guys want bloopers later on, you're going to get them. All right, lead generation, appointments. The third thing I'm going to do is take seller listings. The fourth thing that makes up my 20% is contracts, writing offers, receiving offers, and executing contracts. And the fifth thing that makes up my 20% is blocking time to role play and practice my scripts. Now, the question that I would ask myself during normal times is, how much time am I spending on the 20%? If I'm working 10 hours a day, how much time am I spending in lead generation, going on appointments, taking listings, writing offers, receiving offers, executing contracts, and then lastly, role playing and practicing my scripts. Now, does this change during these times? Just because we are in the middle of a health crisis, is my 20% different? And I'm going to tell you it's not. Okay, as if anything, I would say that you actually need to double down on the activities in order to create opportunity now, and in order to create mind share now for opportunity later on. So during normal times, I would tell you, if you're going to work 250 days a year and your focus is 20 conversations, that's a standard. You're going to have 5,000 conversations in a year. Cool. Now, we're in a shift and we're in the middle of a health crisis. And I want you to continue to focus on lead generation. As a matter of fact, I want you to double down. So if possible, and guys, listen to me. I want you to hear me. I understand life is crazy. I understand that for those of you who have children at home, you're homeschooling, you're taking care of your kids, you're trying to run a business, and nothing I'm telling you is good or bad, right or wrong. There's no judgment in this conversation, I promise you. However, I want you to look at this number, 20 contacts, and I want you to change your focus for the next 90 days to 40 contacts. And if you're doing that, you're having 3,600 conversations over the next 90 days. Now, the purpose of a conversation is to either get an appointment, get a referral, add somebody to your database, or build relationships. Look at it like this. So I have my pipeline, and my job is to put people in my pipeline every single day. Now, what if I told you meet with one person a day over the next 90 days? Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to meet with one person a day over the next 90 days that's going to list their house or buy a home in the next 30 days. These are individuals who are thinking of buying or selling, and they might be thinking of buying or selling 6 months from now. It might even be a year from now, but I still want you to meet with them. And I'm talking about a Zoom meeting. In other words, I'm going to say, hey, let's connect by Zoom for 30 minutes and just kind of do an update on what the market looks like. And when I'm doing that, I'm entering opportunity into my pipeline. In other words, the purpose of these 3,600 conversations is to get an appointment or to get a referral or add somebody to my database. Now, again, standard. I want to add 90 new Mets to my database in the next 90 days. So every day, I'm going to add somebody new to my database. I'm also focused on building relationships with everybody who is in my database. I am leading every single one of these calls with care, and I'm bringing value to every single one of these conversations. And lastly is I am creating opportunity for the future. In other words, I am creating a database of future opportunity that is going to come because of systematic follow-up. And for everybody that is in my A pipeline, that's everybody who's going to buy or sell a home in the next 30 to 60 days. I'm going to communicate with them once every day, once every other day. At least it's over communicate over time in order to create opportunity, right now opportunity. Now, everybody else, so all of my B, C buyers and sellers, those are buyers and sellers who are 6 months out. I'm going to communicate with them maybe once a week or once every other week. And these are just check-in calls or care calls. In other words, how are you doing? How are things going? What can I do for you? How do you feel? What do you need? What are you thinking? And what I'm doing is I'm creating emotional proximity. So when this day comes and they're ready to buy or sell, I've created mind share in order to create market share. I'm planting seeds for future opportunity. So I'm gonna take you off screen share and give you a chance to talk to me. All right, talk. Hey, Natalie, can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
Yes, I can.
Cool. You know, guys, when I ask you to talk to me and nobody says anything, I think I'm here talking to myself, right? I'm like, oh my God, I just talked for 20 minutes and nobody heard a word I said. So Natalie, I got your email.
Yes.
And
oh, are you going to do that?
not here in front of everybody. No.
Okay.
Please call me later today.
Okay.
My best time to talk today is between 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. If
Okay.
you can call me during that time, you've got my phone number, right?
Yes, I do.
Cool. Just reach out to me and call me.
Okay, perfect.
And I would love to talk to you about that, about your email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, guys, come on, talk to me. What are you hearing? And totally change the subject if you want. How do you feel? How is everybody doing? Raise your hand if you're starting to get a little bit burnt out with being in your home 3 weeks now if you're in South Florida, and longer if maybe you're in the Northeast. Talk to me. What are you hearing? How do you feel? What are you thinking?
So John,
Yes.
so it's Tamika.
Hi, Tamika.
So there's a few, I'll say like B buyers, and I'm not quite sure what to say. You know, not trying to come off like salesy or come off like I'm, you know, I'm actually looking for business, but not to sound that way. Want to come from more of a concern. And, you know, I've text messaged them, but I haven't actually called them. Now, they've been getting text messages every week, but now it's time to pick up the phone. So listening to you, I'm like, okay, it's time to pick up the phone. And your 3 questions, like, you know, what are you seeing? How do you feel? And what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Like, now I'm past that. Is it after those 3 or 4 questions, ask for a referral or just mention I'm in real estate. I'm not mention, I'm like mention if anybody's, go back to yesterday. I know the answer. Go back to yesterday's questions.
So let's just role play this. And
Yeah,
Tamika,
okay.
thank you so much for stepping up and sharing, because I promise you that if you feel that way, there's 50 people on this call. There are several other people who are part of this call who feel the same way as you do, okay? And I was sharing on my 8:30 call, there's 3 reasons why we don't call. And those 3 reasons are, one of those 3 reasons is because we don't know what to say. And we try to overcomplicate this.
Yeah.
And don't do that. So Tamika, if I was calling you, it would just be, hey Tamika, John Dietz following up as promised. First of all, thank you for taking my call. Always lead with gratitude, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you doing? You know, it's been a week since we talked, and I just want to check in and see, how are things at home?
I can do that.
Yeah. I know last time we spoke, you were working from home, and I'm guessing you still are, because I am. I'm working from home. How's that going for you? What kind of challenges are you facing? How do you feel? If there was anything that I could do for you today, Tamika, what could I do? Anything at all? Now, have I talked to you about real estate yet, Tamika?
No.
Nope.
No, you haven't.
Do you know I'm a real estate agent, Tamika?
Of course I do.
Yes. Yes. Do I need to remind you every time I call you that I'm a real estate agent, Tamika?
No.
Right. And this is obviously not role play. I'm just talking to you as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation before was role play, correct?
Yeah.
And, you know, Tamika, I'm so grateful that I still have the opportunity to work from home. And believe it or not, people are still buying and selling homes. So, matter of fact, I'm getting calls from people who are thinking of buying and selling right now. And I know you're not, because you told me. However, if you did talk to somebody who was thinking of buying or selling, would you give me a call?
Yeah.
How can you do that, Tamika?
Yes, I can.
All right. Do you need to do that on every conversation? Say no.
No.
No. If I'm going to reach out and talk to you every single week, I might have that conversation, I don't know, 1 out of 4 calls.
Okay.
Maybe the next time I talk to you, I don't have to go through the entire script. I can just say, hey, by the way, I'm still selling real estate, or still busy. There we go. I'm still busy. And if you know of anybody I can help, I'd love if you give me a call. How about if I just closed the conversation, Tamika, with, hey, before I let you go, just keep in mind that if you know of anybody that's looking to buy or sell, I'd love to hear from you.
All right.
Does that feel salesy?
No.
Do I sound desperate?
No.
I'm coming from a place of service. So
Yeah.
Let me give you a mindset shift. It's a paradigm shift. Don't lead generate for opportunity. Don't lead generate for money. Lead generate to provide people with a better experience.
Yeah.
Lead generate in order to bring value to every single conversation. How many people have called you in the last 3 weeks, Tamika, just to check in and see how you are?
As far as on the business side, not many. I'm the
Yeah.
one doing the calling. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither, by the way, right? My
Yeah.
banker hasn't called, my doctor hasn't called, my CPA hasn't called. Nobody's calling.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I'd love it if they did. Good morning, Corey.
Good morning, John. Even leading, let's just say, because we get a lot of incoming leads as well, online lead traffic, sign calls, things of that nature. Continue to still ask the questions how people are.
Yeah.
First, before them ask, before talking about a property on 123 Main Street, that they called in on.
Yeah.
I assume, we should, in order to break the ice on those new incoming leads that we get, we still ask the question how they are doing. Is that correct?
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the gifts of the past 3 weeks is we are learning to be more human. And I'm going to ask on an incoming lead, if you are a lead that I got from a Facebook ad that I ran through Command, I'm going to start the conversation with Corey. First of all, thank you for reaching out to me. I am so grateful for this opportunity. And before I ask you any real estate questions, how are you doing?
There you go.
How are things at home? I assume that everybody is doing well. Nobody's sick, right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that. Blessed, right?
100%. Thank you for asking. That means a lot.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So I'm looking at the information you sent me, and I see that you're in the market to buy a home, correct?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, cool. So how soon are you looking to make a move, Corey?
Well, we're looking here within the next 4 to 5 months, once things kind of settle down a little bit.
Cool. And you know where to take the conversation from there, right?
Yeah. You just asking the questions.
There you go. And I'm going to do a screen share again because I had a conversation with Jeff Booker yesterday and it made me think of something. And I just want to share this with you guys really quick because it's another paradigm conversation. So love it when my pencil decides not to work, by the way. That's sarcasm. Okay. So.
Should I run over my pencil, John?
You're funny. All right. So this is lead gen. This is transaction management. And this, I'm drawing on my finger, by the way. So if it's a little rough, I apologize. This area in the center is called follow-up. Now, if I am, one of the sources that I'm using to create leads is Facebook ads. And what we know about incoming leads is we're going to create this giant funnel over here that all these leads are going to go in. And one of the things that we know about pay-per-click leads, and Facebook ads is part of that group, even Facebook ads through Command. What we've accomplished with Command is we've brought the cost of Facebook ads down from an average of $5 to $6 per lead, which is what the national average is for pay-per-click leads. We've brought the cost of those leads down to $1 or less per lead. Now, if I'm spending $500 a month on Facebook ads, then that means I'm creating 500 leads. Now, 500 times 1% is 5, right? And the key is not the one conversation that Corey and I just had. The key to this working is, this is going to get messy because I'm writing over the top of myself here. The key to this working is follow-up. It's this. Those 5 list sales don't happen unless I'm doing this. So I have real estate agents calling me and they're saying, I'm spending X amount of money on Facebook ads and I'm just not getting a return. My first question is, how much money are you spending? How many leads are you getting? And what's your system? What system are you using to systematically follow up with all the leads that you're getting? Because without the follow-up, you're not going to get the 5. You're going to get 0. Mm-hmm. And I know Corey does a ton of business because Corey and I are friends. And I know that Corey and Heather have a system for following up on incoming leads. And that's why they do as much, one of the reasons they do as much business as they do. And Corey, tell me, what are you hearing when I have this conversation? Am I right or am I out for lunch?
100%. So we have an ISA, okay, or we believe an ISA model. Mm-hmm. We're fishing for leads that's been in our portal, John, a year and a half ago, that we're bringing these people back to life. Yep. Where they want to buy within the next 3 to 4 months.
Yep.
I call it fishing out the pond.
Yep.
So just mainly following up and fishing out of the pond and bringing people back to life.
Yeah. One of the things we did with the Deeds team is we called it the buyer pool. And one of the things, whenever we would bring a buyer agent on the team, we would let them know, here's the pool, and we've got 2,000 buyers in there. Go get them. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The key is follow-up, guys. The key is not the quality of the leads that you're getting. You're wrong. If that's what you're thinking, then you're not thinking right. The key is follow-up, because every lead is a good lead. If I respond to an ad and I ask for more information, I'm not asking unless I'm interested in buying a home. I'm not asking unless I'm interested in selling my home. Now, I may not be interested right now. It may be a year from now, but it doesn't matter, because the quality of that lead, the value of that lead, if your average commission check is $10,000, is still $10,000. It just may not be $10,000 for another year from now. We'll get in a time machine, fast forward, go forward a year. It's a year from now, and you're closing that deal and you made $10,000. Cool. Or don't follow up because you judge a lead, you think it's not a good lead because they're not ready, willing, and able to buy a home right now, and you throw the lead in the trash. A year from now, you've got 0. And it's a choice.
I think about when I was buying my first house, or even this house. I mean, we looked for a year and a half before we even bought. So if you take it in the mindset of, and most people do, I would say they don't wake up one day and say, I'm going to buy a house. They start planning ahead of time and start looking, and you have to cultivate that and then just be in front of them. Even when I'm like shopping for a car right now, I've been looking for 8 months for a car, because I can't decide what I'm looking for, but my lease is up this month.
Yeah. Heather, I went through the same thing. I looked for probably about 8 months, and then I woke up one morning and said, okay, I'm going to go buy a car. Literally. Yeah. And I did that day. Mm-hmm. And by the way, nobody followed up with me. No. In that 8-month time period, I probably visited 30 car lots, talked to 20 salespeople. Not one of them followed up with me.
Because we're stuck on instant gratification.
Instant.
And that's why Zillow leads are $80, is because most of them are ready sooner. And the Facebook ads are something that you have to cultivate and work through for a longer period of time.
There you go. That's it.
Heather, if you're still looking for a car, I have one for you.
You
I don't need a car right now.
She bought one.
I'm not driving anywhere.
Oh, God. Hey, I remember when I started in the mortgage and real estate business 25 years ago, we used to call through the white pages, okay? Number, address, name, line by line, and asking people if they were looking to refinance or purchase a property, because I was in the mortgages when I started 25 years ago.
Yeah.
The way technology is right now, it's simple. It's simple. It makes things a hell of a lot easier versus what the old school agents and the old school mortgage people did, 25 years ago. So it's really, really easy to do in a short period of time.
Love it. Yeah. By the way, did that work, Corey? Did you get business from making those calls?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But, I was calling out 100 to 150 people per day.
Yeah.
And, literally hand down. And there was no text messaging, right?
Yeah, right.
There was no texting, hand dialing, and then you'll identify somebody that wasn't ready to move for another 8 to 12 months or 2 years. And you had to keep up with those people, and then by reaching so many people every single day, you start building a pipeline. And then you had to follow up with your pipeline. And then you start closing some transactions, and you just kept calling and kept calling and kept calling and kept calling, and the technology started getting a little bit easier and easier and easier and easier. And to this day, 2020, it's a piece of cake. You just gotta sit there and do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a walk in the park in this market.
Yeah. Yeah. You're talking about the basics, Corey. And what's so interesting is you hear real estate agents all the time say, well, I guess I need to get back to the basics, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Gary Keller's response to that would be, whoever told you to stop?
Right.
Yeah.
100%. It hasn't changed.
Nope.
All you got to do is pick up the phone. The game hasn't changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Natalie's response. She had a dream about dialing out of the white pages. Interesting.
Last night. No, literally last night. That's so funny that you just brought that up, because we had to do that too. We have no one to call. They would throw the book at us. I remember that.
All right, guys, it's 10:03. Give me a couple more ahas. Give me a couple takeaways. Give me something that you're grateful for. Let's end this call with some serious positivity. And by the way, there's a reason I started with the video that I started with today, other than needing to fill some time while I was preparing for this call, is you see a big smile, and what you don't see is the storm on the inside. What you don't see is blood, sweat, tears, and pain. This is hard. Don't get me wrong. This is seriously hard. And I know if it's hard for me, it's hard for you. I know it is. We are all in a storm. We are all in this storm together. That's why these calls are so important, because you're plugging into community, you're plugging into support and growth. It's important.
Yes, it is. Definitely.
I want a couple ahas. You guys
At
are
the
going
end
to take.
of the day, pick up the phone.
There you go, girl. Love it. Yeah, I promise you that thing does not weigh 500 pounds. I promise you this is your friend. I promise you people want you to call, Tamika. They're home, they're happy, they want to talk to me. They're home, they're happy, they want to talk to me. Isabel, I cannot hear you. No, you're probably on mute. There's the mute button on the bottom left of your screen. If you look for that, click on mute or hit the space bar. I think that takes you off mute. Somebody told me that. Okay, one more.
I like the way that you put it, that no lead is a bad lead. And the way that you made it sound, because it's true. We're so apt to just throw leads away when we don't get instant gratification for them. So I really appreciate the way that you put that.
Yeah, Natalie. And I think that's why it's so important to change the way we look at things and stop lead generating for opportunity. Because if you're lead generating for opportunity, you're going to judge every opportunity. If you lead generate in order to create a better experience for the customers that you are honored with the opportunity to serve, or to provide better service to the people that you are speaking to, then you're just going to keep calling. And I promise you, you'll get more. When you come from a place of service, you are sowing seeds, and you are sowing seeds that are going to come back to you tenfold.
I always say, John, last thing is, the more rejections that you have, the bigger your paycheck will be.
There you go. Try it. Here you go. Here's my favorite quote from Tom Hopkins. I am not judged by the number of opportunities I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying.
Right. Yeah.
All right, guys. You rock.
All right.
9:30 tomorrow. 9:30 tomorrow morning, and go get on the phone. Smile, dial, and do it again. Make it a great day.
Bye.